This is the Bard College of Psychology. This is a really neat one. This was created by and also Crowley, Michael Crowley, who is one of our, sorry, need a drink, one of our kind of co-conspirators here on Fantasy Labs. And I really love how this guy turned out. I was not sold on this at first, but once I saw what he put together and how it had kind of evolved and changed over time, I've really come to love this class. I think this was born out of a one-off gag from Taliesin Jaffe on Critical Role, who said, I would love to play a bard, a psychologist, or something along those lines. No offense to you or Pete, but this is the Bard College I was the most looking to seeing published. Oh, it's all good, Bled. It's a very cool class. Excuse me, got a bit of a cough. But yeah, the Bard College of Psychology. Again, there's a whole bunch of flavor here, but to summarize it, the Bard College of Psychology is going to tap into the psyche of its enemies. It's going to tear down their foes by their insecurities, and you're going to bolster your allies, both in their confidence and just in their, general well-being. It's a very nice little class. Starting at 3rd level, you get the first feature, Guided Meditation. And all this is going to do is your Song of Rest feature, which is a feature that all bards get, which heals allies when they take a short rest. This also reduces the exhaustion of your allies by 1 when they do the Song of Rest. Exhaustion is a very scary mechanic in 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons, and this is just a nice little, sometimes this is going to be very helpful and very useful. Other times it might not do too much, but addition. Extra special synergy when you have that frenzy barbarian or in your party. You also at 3rd level get remediating inspiration, which allows you to, when you give a creature a bardic inspiration die, the creature gains some temp hit points equal to your bard level plus your charisma modifier. Additionally, if the creature is affected by the charmed or frightened condition and would make a saving throw to end the condition on their next turn, they may immediately make an additional saving throw to end that condition. This is something I really, really love because it's, a lot of effects like fear effects or charm effects, they can really stink because they'll eat up your whole turn. And this is a cool way of saying, well, you know what? Fighter who got scared of that dragon and can't run at it to attack it, here's another shot. And of course, they could also use that bardic inspiration die they just got to boost their roll on it. So very fun little way of emphasizing that the Bard Psychology is going to help to get rid of those debuffs, right? Pull off those detriments. Also at 3rd level, they get one-on-one session. And this is a very interesting little feature, mainly for out of combat, but after listening to a creature for at least 1 minute, you can attempt a charisma check. The DC for this check equals 10 plus the humanoid's bonus to charisma saving throws. And if you succeed, they gain advantage on ability checks made with a stat of your choice for the next hour. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a short or long rest. So the idea here is, you can sit down and talk it through with someone. And it's funny, the more charismatic they are, the harder it is to get back at them. I guess the idea is how powerful their own sense of self is. It's going to be very easy to convince the barbarian that, it's okay, barbarian, you can make the jump. Yes, I'm strong, I can. It's going to be much harder to convince the cleric who's doubting themselves, or the paladin that's doubting themselves, that they can in fact do it. But just a fun little feature where you can help bolster your allies a little bit out of combat. At 6th level, this is a really fun little ability. They get heightened insecurities. And so you learn the Vicious Mockery cantrip. If you don't already know it, you probably do because you're a bard. It doesn't count against the number of cantrips you know. And when you deal damage with this cantrip, you can add your charisma modifier to spells damage. Fun little way to really say, hey man, this heightened insecurities, this one's good for you. I mean, the Vicious Mockery, this is your special cantrip. This is the cantrip that is really for this subclass. Additionally, when a creature fails their saving throw against your Vicious Mockery, the creature also cannot gain advantage on ability checks or saving throws until the end of your next turn, or until the start of your next turn. and you can use this ability a number of times equal to your charisma modifier, minimum of once. You regain any expended uses when you finish a long rest. So this is a really cool way of saying, hey, those monsters that have, let's say, turn resistance, right? They have advantage against turning effects like powerful fiends or things like that, or maybe enemies with magic resistance. This is a cool way of helping to negate those powerful monster or enemy features without totally flipping the tides and giving them disadvantage out of nowhere. So fun little feature, very cool. But yeah. And then lastly, at level 14, they get group therapy. This is just a fun feature. You emit a calm and reassuring aura. While you're not incapacitated, allied creatures within 30 feet of you that can see or hear you gain resistance to psychic damage and advantage on saving throws against being charmed or frightened. Perfectly fitting. And then additionally, as a bonus action, you can create a mental link with the number of creatures equal to your charisma modifier minimum of 1 within your aura that you can see. While linked in this way, you and all of the linked creatures can communicate with each other telepathically. This effect lasts for 1 hour until you become incapacitated or until you choose to end this effect, no action required. And once you use this feature in this way, you can't use it again until you finish a short or long rest. So basically, this is like a kind of Rary's telepathic bond kind of deal. You can create a telepathic link with people, which is just, especially when you get to 14th level and you're doing some like high tier espionage, actually like a really good feature, a very, very potent feature, and pretty cool. That being said, the psychic damage, I could see this bard being the bane of all mind flayers. Just, oh no! But yeah, very cool. Excuse me. Yeah, so that is the College of Psychology. It is a fun little bard subclass. I really love the play style concept of buffing up your allies more than anything else, and tearing down your foes. I'm very excited about this. I hope you guys are too. And again, if you play it, we would love to have your feedback. There's going to be a link right in the document right down here. dndtime.stream #feedback-psychology. So yeah, please let us know your thoughts on it. And if you want this subclass, you can find it on the DM's Guild just by searching Fantasy Labs. It's $1, or if you want to play test a little bit before you buy it, you can always check out the full-size preview. The whole thing should be available there with that sample watermark. Oh boy! Well, everybody, thank you for listening in with those. I hope that you guys like these. This is our first batch of stuff. Your thoughts, how you feel about these, your your opinions matters a lot to us. Like, that's going to decide what we continue to do in the future, how we decide to keep moving with this kind of stuff. So please do let us know your thoughts. Raz is asking, can we play it on D&D time on Fridays? At this time, we have no plans to do that, Raz. However, I will say, the reason we didn't want to have this stuff available for D&D time was because the content, excuse me, because it wasn't necessarily going to be freely available. Because of the DM's Guild full-size preview with the sample overlay and all of that, it really is freely available. It's just whether you want the watermark on it or the non-watermark version. So, Pete and I will talk. This may be available for D&D time in the future. We'll let you guys know how we eventually feel about that. But great question. I really appreciate it. Roger Twice, some good quality content. Thank you. Thank you, Roger. We worked, I'll be honest, we worked really hard on this. Some of it probably doesn't seem like it's that difficult to put together, but everything from the fonts we used, oh my gosh, we had to totally scrap all of the font stuff we were using except for the headers at the last minute, the 6th hour, just because we realized that it wasn't PDFing well and it looked really jagged and ugly. The actual text part here. We did a whole bunch of stuff. And of course, we've gone through several design iterations on these guys. But yeah, I'm really glad you like it. I appreciate it. Flip note, darn, I missed stuff because my power went out. It's okay, Flipnote. You should be able to find all of that in the VOD later on, or I'm sure people can give you a synopsis if you're interested. Farku said, have you tried playing it yet? You know, Farku, I haven't had an opportunity to actually play test any of these myself yet. If you guys remember, actually, some time ago, we had put together, after in the Discord, had put together a list of Ranger talents to replace the Natural Explorer feature of the Ranger, and I had taken those and done another pass on those to create my own kind of take on the concept, as well as a replacement for the favored enemy feature. And I've been playtesting that quite a bit, actually. I'm playing a Ranger using those features in a campaign that's been meeting on a weekly basis. So I've actually spent a lot of time playtesting my Ranger stuff, and I found it to be actually maybe a little too much. Or no, I've been, pardon me, I've been seeing where I need to make changes here and there. But yeah, so I have not had a chance to playtest these guys yet, which is why your playtest feedback is all the more valuable, Farku. Roger saying, I value add that I would like a worked up PC/NPC in each class, maybe at each tier. I know there's not an insignificant amount of work, but I think it's nice. Oh, interesting, Roger. So you're saying like, you know, as like an additional page kind of deal at the end, it would have, actually, I'm going to write this note down because it's a really awesome idea. Add to end of subclasses an example NPC/PC character sheet implementing the concepts. Yeah, I think that's a really, really cool idea, Roger. I really like that. Just the ability to like be like, all right, and here is what a character looks like. Perhaps one for each tier of ability. Yeah, I think that would actually be really cool, especially as a way to inspire players a little bit more, right? Like the whole point of this, and a lot of the flavor text in here, and I mean the reason we're creating these subclasses, right, is to fulfill a class fantasy that doesn't exist in 5th edition D&D. And so anything we can put in here to further inspire people who are interested in playing this, I think it's a really awesome addition. I really appreciate you putting that out there. Yeah, I like that a lot. Maybe we'll see a version 2 coming out in the not so distant future. And of course, the way DM's Guild works is once you buy something on the DM's Guild, you'll get all future updates for it. You know, it's not going to be like, well, version 2, buy it again. So, you know, if we do decide to go back and add stuff to these, I mean, that'll be a cool way of doing it. Let's see. All right, I think, oh, no, we missed one from Halo, dude. Sorry, Halo, dude. Or Apex, rather. Will you look over a subclass if I post it while the stream is going, or are you only going to do things that were submitted before the stream? Apex, you go ahead and post that boy right in the workshop channel on our Discord server. For those interested in joining us, ddtime.stream, #Discord will get you there. And yeah, just go ahead and post it in there, and I'll try and add that to the list of awesome player created stuff to take a peek at later in the stream. Farku, time to make a full Bard campaign. Farku, if you play in a full Bard campaign using these 3 subclasses, I would absolutely, even if it's just a one-shot, I'd love to hear how it went. These are some very weird subclasses to put together in a party. It's like, I'm a painter, and I'm the mystic, and I am the psychologist. You two are very strange. It'd be very fun. I'm invited. Farku, I would love to. I don't have the time for a lot more games right now. I hardly have the time for what I'm already doing. Tell me about your brain. Yeah, right. But yeah. I love that idea, Roger, and V-Bunny also likes that, and we'll definitely consider putting that stuff in the back in the future. But anyway, thank you again for checking out these Bard colleges that we've put together. We hope you guys like them. We really want to hear your feedback on, you know, everything about this, right? If you have questions about the presentation, have more awesome suggestions like Roger's idea, or anything like that, please do tell us, even if it's just atting us in the D&D Time Discord. We appreciate your thoughts.